This is a quick presentation just to show you how you can secure an A or A star in A-level maths. The harsh truth about A-level maths in 2025. Why are bright students missing out on top grades? It's not because they're not intelligent, that they're not working hard enough, not putting in the hours to revise, and most importantly, it's not because they're not good at maths. 2025 is the most competitive year for A-level maths results yet. Universities are raising grade requirements, exam papers are becoming more unpredictable, and students are under more pressure than ever before. Exam boards like AQA, EdXL, and OCR are tightening marking schemes. Mark schemes are harsher with less tolerance for imprecision or missing steps. This means small mistakes can now cost entire grades. There are now too many top students. Every year, the number of high-achieving students increases, but the number of A stars doesn't. Everybody is working harder and performing better. Not everyone can be awarded an A or A star. Only those at the very top. Working harder won't get you an A or A star, but outworking your competitors will. Let's take the EdXL exam board for example. The grade boundaries are increasing every year. In 2021, you needed 207 out of 300 for an A star, whereas in 2025, you need 258. That's an extra 51 marks, and it's exactly the same for an A. In 2021, you needed 157 marks. In 2025, you need 214 out of 300. That's an extra 57 marks to secure an A. It's the same story for AQA and OCR exam boards. And in 2026, we expect these to increase even more. Content knowledge does not equal exam success. Even the most capable students are losing marks, not because they don't understand the maths, but because they don't understand how to perform under exam conditions, and most importantly, how to think like an examiner. It's very obvious that there's a teacher and tutor overload. Schools are stretched, classes are large, and tutors often focus on the content and not exam technique, which leaves students unprepared for the real challenge of the real exams. Tutors are usually teachers or students who are not a specialist in A-level maths alone. Their paycheck stays the same whether your child performs or not. Your child deserves better support. Anybody serious about achieving an A or A star in A-level maths is getting external help. And finally, there is a parental blind spot. Many parents assume consistent effort means consistent results. But in 2025, that's no longer true. Strategy now matters just as much as study. Your child's future shouldn't depend on hope. It should depend on a strategy that you can trust. Why is getting an A or A star so important? If your child is aiming for medicine, dentistry, engineering, computer science, economics, accounting and finance, architecture, physics, top universities now require an A or A star in maths. That's the University of Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial College London. You're not getting in unless you have that A. You want your child to be successful? But here's the honest truth. Their future simply is not worth the risk. Around 20% of A-level maths students actually achieve an A or A star. 92% of our students achieved an A or A star in 2025. Your child can too. Meet Mandy, the expert behind the A-level maths Ascension system. She's a qualified actuary who got an A star in A-level maths. She has 9 years of one-to-one tutoring experience, and she owns a large tutoring company called Tutorberry, which specializes in maths. She has a passion for helping key mathematicians. She graduated from Queen Mary's University, London, with a first-class honours degree in mathematics and statistics and a master's degree in actuarial science. She's an A-level maths specialist who actually cares about your child's future and knows what they're doing. It's taken Mandy 9 years to perfect her system, to take any student from their current position to an A or A star. Like George, who got into Oxford University with an A star. Or Nicholas, who went from a B to an A just over summer. Roisin, who went from a C to an A. And Jerin, who went from a D to an A star. We could go on for a very long time about our success stories. Mandy has now helped over 200 students secure A and A-star grades and get into their first choice universities. Our 5-star reviews speak for themselves. But how can we do the same for your child? We introduce a proven structure. We save them hours of ineffective revision. We lay out an organized pathway for them to follow. This gives them an unfair advantage over other students who will be competing with them on the same exam. At the end of the day, the examiner who marks your child's paper ultimately determines their future. They can't see your child's background, whether they go to a private school, public school, grammar school, or study independently. We focus on making it easy for the examiner to see that they have an A-star student's paper right in front of them. So how does our process secure your child an A or A-star? We call it the A-Level Maths Ascension system. The first step of the system is to understand the theory and pure mathematical concepts. Learners at this stage know some of the content. They will still have gaps in their learning. They may be able to practice questions confidently. They usually struggle with unfamiliar questions and exam questions. At this stage, we recommend for you to go through our pre-recorded one-to-one sessions and solidify your core mathematical principles and techniques. We recommend completing each section's practice questions to prepare you for the real exam questions. Your child will be taught the exact same way we tutor our top Oxford and Cambridge candidates, ensuring there are absolutely no gaps in their fundamental content. The second step is to understand how to apply your knowledge to real exam questions. Learners at this stage know most of the content. There are some minor gaps in learning. They know some calculator functions. They're confident with familiar practice and exam questions. They struggle with unfamiliar exam questions and usually struggle with timing or pressure in the real exams. They also usually have a lack of knowledge on how to check their work. At this stage, your child will learn how to take their knowledge and apply it to real unfamiliar exam questions confidently and in good time, whilst being able to spot what the question is really asking them, plus how to break it down into simple steps. They develop confidence with timing. We usually see students here gaining consistent B grades. The third step is to think like an examiner, breaking down and answering questions. Learners will be pushing the boundaries for an A grade. You should know the material very well. You will be confident with some unfamiliar exam questions. You will be able to break down exam wording and phrasing very well. You may still be losing some marks to technique, but you're able to check your own work effectively. And you know most of the calculator functions. At this stage, we would recommend watching our exclusive mindset and exam training videos. We teach how to really understand and think like a pro mathematician. We recommend you attend all weekly live sessions or watch the recordings for additional practice. We train you on how to reflect on your exam papers correctly and develop a positive relationship with silly mistakes. We complete practice under exam conditions to emulate feelings of the real exam. Your child at this point will be pushing the boundaries for a grade A. The next step is to train your mathematical and problem-solving brain. This is where you are pushing for a solid A or A star. You will be confident with all the pure and applied content. You can confidently apply learning to unfamiliar exam questions under time conditions. You know the details specific to your exam board and can reflect on allocated marks. You can confidently implement checks to your work and rectify solutions. And you know your calculator very well. We recommend attending all of the A-Level Maths Ascension live calls, learning and reflecting on all areas where you're losing marks, and learning how to avoid all common errors, focusing on the harder exam questions and specific problems targeting A or A star students. And the results? Well, they're not luck. 92% of our students secured an A or A star in 2025. Our students know the content. They don't make silly mistakes. They don't miss out on any marks. They know how to check their work. They know how to apply the content. They've seen the unfamiliar exam questions. They fix their mindset and beliefs. They've perfected their exam technique, and they enter the exam knowing they're fully prepared for an A or A star. They know what the examiner wants to see, and they ace that exam. It's no secret that schools don't provide enough support. This system was designed to bridge the gap between school learning and the real exam. We don't leave any of our students behind. Mandy has made herself available for her students 24/7 via WhatsApp. This is more than just a top system. It's like having an A-star examiner by your child's side from now until their A-level exam. You can stop worrying about maths. We will take care of everything. Here's what's included. More than 120 hours of structured topic-by-topic video lessons for Year 12 and 13. These include the full syllabus for AQA, OCR and EdExcel. Mandy's clear and easy to understand teaching style. You're able to tick videos off and stay organized within our system. You can also go back and re-watch the videos anytime you're stuck. Deep exam technique training and full past paper breakdowns. Mandy has spent 3 months carefully analyzing and breaking down every past exam in existence. She's organized them by topic underneath each section of her system. It will save your child hours of time. It will also ensure that their revision is hyper-productive. Calculator guides and paid textbooks. Mandy hasn't missed out anything. She's included tutorials on how to use your calculator, one of the most powerful tools your child will need to use in their exam. In addition to this, all the paid textbooks are included and downloadable as PDF files inside the system. Everything is laid out in an extremely organized manner. Your child can easily follow the system step by step. We also include built-in revision tracking and performance analytics. We routinely check in on your child, ensuring their performance is on target for an A or A star on a monthly basis. Our powerful system is able to see every video they've watched, and we are more than happy to provide parents with regular updates on request. Monitoring performance is the key to ensuring your child is consistently working towards their goal. We also do one-to-one check-in calls monthly to ensure your child is getting the correct support and attention that they require. Unlike tutors and teachers, we are up to date in 2025. Our system includes AI-powered practice to generate unlimited exam questions on demand. Running out of practice questions to master tricky topics is now a thing of the past. Your child will become a member of our school community, a group of like-minded individuals who are all aiming for an A or A star. These members will be aiming for the UK's top universities. They're able to connect, share tips, and keep each other motivated during exam periods. But the most important elements of the system, we have 2 to 3 weekly live coaching sessions. These focus on exam technique and performance. They're the key to ensuring that your child is getting the correct amount of practice to get the A or A star. These are extremely interactive, and Mandy is very experienced in ensuring that all members are engaged, active, and the material is understood. These run throughout the holidays, and the amount of sessions will increase at no extra cost on the run-up to exams. No individual is left behind on our calls, and all the sessions are recorded in case you miss one. You're able to go back and re-watch the recorded live sessions at any time. We also have exclusive exam technique training, one-to-one drop-in sessions which will be available with Mandy, unique exam tips, tricks, and mindset training that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. So why are we doing this? Well, we will want students, and we really do understand the pressure and how difficult students can find A-level maths. Mandy truly loves maths. I hope you can see that passion looking at her TikTok page. Every year, Mandy's one-to-one tutoring calendar fills out completely. She could only help up to 20 students per year, so she created this system to allow more students to access the correct help and support that they really need. It's like a private school education, but specifically for A-level maths. A unique system nobody in the UK is able to offer. Unfortunately, we can't help everybody. We only want to work with motivated students. We ruthlessly train our students to outperform their competitors. Thank you so much for listening, and best of luck for your A-level maths results.